Alrighty, so this video will be posted as part of the course announcement so that it gives you just those end of semester topics to make sure, you and I are clear about the end of the semester because in a class like this, you know, you want to understand when's that last time and date that I can submit work. Okay, and so here it is. Right, and I've talked about it before, but I want to talk about it for one last time. So today, I ended up recording a video in week 17 that is a discussion. Okay. And that discussion I'm going to set as the last item due. I'm going to actually give it a due date. And even though there's an item that's listed after that, which is your last CRUD operation, I ended up doing this as the due date. But I just want you to know any work that you want to do for this class has to be done by May 18th at 2 o'clock. Okay. So let's just look. Right now, I'm recording this in week 16. So, and I will post this video probably soon. And that means you have this week, the rest of this week, next, okay, up until 2 o'clock. At 2 o'clock on the finals week, right? Then that's the last point at which you can submit work for this class. Cool? Well, whether it's cool or not, it's the end. So I just want you to understand what that means. Now, having said that, I also want you to understand, and I've been going through and putting in where students have not submitted work yet, 0, so they have an idea about how far they are, in the course. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to end up putting it all the way, those zeros. Now, don't freak out about it. I said this before, but I'm going to put zeros all the way through all the items. And what that will then mean to help you understand, right, is you can obviously still submit work. And again, you can submit it. I don't recommend waiting until this time because here's the other deal. If you're waiting until this time and there's something you're very much missing, right, you can't resubmit it at that point. So the nice thing about, and I hope some of you have felt this, about submitting early is that I grade it. And by the way, if you haven't heard me say, what I do is I pull your code into my system. I run it to see if it runs. I look at the code. I look at the commits. I look at your README file. And that's how I grade those items. So if you're missing something and you're counting on that item to get you into the grade you want, then waiting until that last point, may not feel good. And obviously that's not what I would want for you. But you have choices. Now, having said that, I just want to be clear as well. If you don't know this, and by the way, I was wrong on week 16 when I posted this. It was actually 3 weeks, but it was 2 weeks less of instruction. So, but where I was heading was on your grades, and as a, here's what I can do. I'm going to switch over to a student view. Okay. I'm going to go into grades, and I suspect many of you know this, right? So in this case, look at this. The feedback goes to the top because it's the only thing with a due date. But what you can do is if there's items, right, that you think, I'm not going to get to those, you can come in here and put a grade of what you think. Like if, now I'm going to put a 0, but let's say you think you could get, a certain amount, then you could put those items in there. And then what would happen is the percentage, and this is what this shows a what if, right? So what if I do this work? Remember, up until May 18th at 2 o'clock, you can submit work, and it's going to be for full points. I grade it, and hopefully it's all there, but, FYI. So I just want you to understand, end of the semester, what if you don't know about the what if grade, the functionality in the Canvas gradebook, what that's about. Okay. The other thing is, and I mentioned this a little bit in the week 17 discussion. And by the way, to get all the points for week 17, you actually have to do a substantive post, which means cover several of the topics that I covered and do substantive replies to your classmates as well. Okay. So, what was I talking about? So, for those of you that looked at the CRUD operation, right? The actual you doing code, right? Writing some code on your own without my code along help. Although all the stuff that I was having you do in the CRUD app, we did through the mileage app. So you had a good reference there. But if you chose to not do those assignments, right? Right? Again, as of today, I'm going to end up putting 0 on everything. But you could just say, you don't have to do that to move on to week, let's see, if it was week 10 CRUD, then we have week 10 edit, right? So you could make week 11, you like the refactor. No, refactor is actually part of that. It's only the CRUD app. So you could, again, this depends. The more work you have, the more choices you have to figure out how you want to end up, where you want to end up in this class. Okay. So FYI, I just wanted you to know that information and how the end of semester works, and that I'm going to place, and I'll probably do it today. So, and I'll post, actually I think I'll wait till Friday to post this video and to actually go in and put zeros on everything outstanding so that you will know, right, where you are, how far, either how caught up you are, like if I could put all the zeros in and you were still in either a passing or the grade you wanted, cool, right? Which, at a class like this, it's like either you're here to get, I need this class as a check mark, I just need to have it done. Or many of you are here to actually gain a skill. So for those of you here to gain the skill, you probably wouldn't want to not do some of the assignments because hopefully you get some kind of knowledge or skill out of that. Okay, so I think that's it for me. I I said thank you in my week 17, so I'll just say it again. I appreciate the students in this class. I appreciate students that come into any class that I teach. I try to honor that process, and I look forward to seeing some of you in another class, like maybe a CIT 82, which is Intro to Web Development, CIT 85, HTML and CSS, or JavaScript. I'm teaching the beginning class, the entry level class in cybersecurity as well. Anyway, any of those classes would be fun to see you all in. Have a great summer. And I was going to say I'll talk to you soon, but I don't know if I will. But you're always welcome to come by and see me. I'm on campus, BE 113. But of course, through office hours, I've seen almost all of you through Zoom, which is totally okay with me as well. I'm good either way. But if you ever want to connect with me, just reach out to Canvas or consider, if you haven't already, getting on our Discord server and hanging out there because I do post jobs and other content out there. So being a part of that community might be of benefit, or I hope it's of benefit to you. So if you have enjoyed, consider that as well. All right. Have a good one. Bye.